So again, I want to welcome everyone to our today's session, which has the title, The Power of SystemLink, Excel and XA. Today, we have two speakers. One of them is me. I'm Julia, and I am responsible for the marketing at MJR. And I'm working here since now a bit more than 1 year. And I will do the introduction today, and then I hand over to my colleague Steffen, which will introduce him now shortly.
Yeah, hey everyone, my name is Steffen Sternberger. I'm at MJR since 2018, and I've started my apprenticeship here. And now I'm a technical consultant. I will take the demo for SystemLink and Uploadia.
Thank you, Steffen. Before we start with the agenda, I want to shortly give you some venue function. If you want to enlarge your screen, you can click on the enlarge icon on the right bottom beneath the preview. And as you already seen, you can write your questions in the chat on the right side. And we will answer them because you are muted, like you already said. Attendants are muted, and we will answer them in the question and answer round at the end of the presentation.
Oh, I see there's a question when the recording will be posted and where it will be posted. Maybe you can answer that before.
Yeah. The recording will be posted in the follow-up email, so every attendee will get a follow-up email after this session, and there is also the recording available. Okay, let's switch to our agenda for today. At first, I will introduce MJR. Some of the attendees, I think, know us from the Empower last year in Milwaukee. And they already know MJR from there. Then we will hand over to Steffen, and he will introduce you to SystemLink and give you some samples. Then he will show the upload from Excel with Uploadia, and then we will go to the question and answer. So here you can see the location of MJR. We are located in the south of Germany. The town is called Knittlingen. And yeah, we are near Karlsruhe and Stuttgart. It's like in the middle of those both bigger cities. Here you can see some vineyards of our region and some historical buildings. So it's very nice in our region here. The business parts of MJR are, for example, ERP, IoT, we have output management, we have integration topics, we can offer mobile solutions, and we do software service and support, of course, for our customers. The team of MJR are at the moment 21 people that come from 7 countries and speak 10 languages. So we can handle with a lot of languages and a lot of customers coming from all over the world. And yeah, altogether you can see here our team. So that's from my side. And now I will hand over to Steffen, and he will go on with SystemLink.
Yeah, now you have to stop sharing your screen.
Yeah, I have quickly searched my mouse arrow, which is now on the wrong screen. Just a second.
All right.
Now it should work.
Yes. And then I can share this screen. All right, there we are. So basic introduction to SystemLink. SystemLink is the standard API for XA. We have the standard business objects as well as customer business objects. We have all the different templates you have, for example, in Netlink or PowerLink. You also have them available in SystemLink. SystemLink is also checking for all the field limitations. So if it's a numeric field, if the type of field is correct that you've entered, basically is checking everything that is done in Netlink or in PowerLink. You can work with master data, you can work with orders, with transactions, basically unlimited access to XA. Basically, SystemLink uses also the XA security. So there is nothing you have to consider about security. If you can do anything in PowerLink, then you can also do it in SystemLink. If you're not able to create orders in PowerLink, you also cannot do it in SystemLink. So that's a very cool feature too. We have deployment profiles. That's kind of the same thing. You can build up different profiles for example, external partners or suppliers. You can grant access to them and limit what they have access to. And that's also implemented into SystemLink. And it's really the only safe way to work with data from external systems to get them into XA. And then I will show you some examples. I will start off with SystemLink, the basic structure, the different components we have in a SystemLink request. Then we are going to upload item revision base price. And then we are going to upload custom orders and line items. So there we have two business objects, the custom order header and the custom order lines. And now I can switch over to this one. So some of you know SystemLink, some of you may know the structure, but I will explain it in detail. On the top, we have our XML tag. And then we have on the second line, we have our doc type. And there is also the SystemLink request.dtd, which is necessary to send the SystemLink request to XA because it describes how the structure is built up. And then we have our login part, which you can see right here. And we have username, password, properties, for example, the environment, the system name, and the language in here. I will show you how to enter the user ID and the password later on in SystemLink Simulator, because that's what we're using to upload this SystemLink request. And then we have the request part starting from here. As I already said, this is an item revision base price upload. We have 10 different base prices in here, so all the way down from 1 to 10. And I entered a wrong value in here for the price unit of measure. It's ST for Germany, but I've entered EA, so it's each. And then we will see how SystemLink is reacting to a wrong value that was entered. And for the item revision base price, it's always this block right here. So these are just the necessary properties, necessary attributes we need to upload it. And we have the base, the price effective date, which is the current date. We have the site, the item. We don't even need an item division, and the pricing unit of measure, and of course the base price. In here you can see the keys. So those are the minimum required attributes. And then we also have these other two that it actually makes sense. So then I copy this and paste it into the SystemLink simulator. And down here you can see variables. It's a drop-down where we can select user ID and password, because over here, these are also the placeholders for the variables. And now I can log in with my XA credentials. And let's check what we have in XA. This is Netlink, and now we can select item revision base price. I have a filter for today, so there is nothing shown. And when we upload it, we will see it here. All right, so we should have 9 items because one has to fail because we put in the wrong value. Let's see what we have. In the response part, we have 3 different tabs. We have browser rendered, where you only can see the values. We have plain XML text, which is okay, but it's not a great overview in here. Which I like the most is the simulator rendered. So you can see just like the SystemLink request, the SystemLink response in here. We have the login response, which is also true. And the response has errors, which you can see here. It is true. And for each of those create actions, there is also the action succeeded attribute, which is true, except for this one, the third one. And it says the price unit of measure you entered is not found in the unit of measure file. So that's exactly the same error message as you would get in PowerLink or in Netlink. And if we refresh this one, then we can see we have 1, 2, 3 is missing, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. That's how it looks in SystemLink. And now we can go ahead and enter the correct value in here and send it again. So now we should only create 1, and the other 9 should fail because they're already existing for today's date. And that's exactly what's happening. The record you're trying to create already exists in the database. So there's no way we can put any wrong data in here, and only the one that was missing, where we corrected the value, is now in here. Refresh. We also have the third one. And yeah, that's it for the base prices. Let's see what it looks like for the customer orders with line items. Again, we have our standard layout. We have the doc type, we have our login, and then we have the request part starting. And in here, we have the customer order header, which is this create part. We have the attributes company, order type. We enter an order number, an order date, which is also today, warehouse, a customer, and the terms. And then we are going to create 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different line items. You can see on this domain class part, there is the domain class that is actually referencing to the correct business object. You can see on the top, we have the customer order, and here we have CO line items. And to get the relationship between the line items and the customer order header, we have a key property on the customer order line item, which is order, and we're using value ref in here. And then we're taking the name of the action before. So you can see, let's zoom out. It's the name of the create action before. And then from this action right here, we're selecting the order attribute. So it uses this order number for all these custom order line items. So you can see in here. And what's also very important is the retain result has to be on true. So it's actually keeping the result and using it for the next line items. I hope that's not too technical for you, but now you know how this is working in the background. And we can also copy that into the SystemLink simulator, go to request, paste it in here, user and password are set, and then we will check what's in customer orders and quotes. So we set it for today, there's nothing in here. And then we can submit the request. All right, we have action succeeded, true, has errors is false. So this is like the global check for the entire request if there are any errors. This looks good. And we also have the CO line items with the correct order number. 1772,002. We refresh. We have the order in here. And let's check for the line items. Also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 line items in here. So that's how it's working in SystemLink. And it can be very complicated because that was just basic stuff. And now I will show you how this is working in Uploadia. To log in into Uploadia, we can use the same credentials as we used for the SystemLink simulator, because Uploadia is also doing the same SystemLink request to XA to log in. So we can enter our credentials, we enter our system, the environment, and the language. You can see it's built up like the PowerLink login. And when we log in, Uploadia is requesting all the business objects from XA. So on the right side, you can see all these different business objects. You can see I marked some as favorites by just clicking this little star right here, if you use them more frequently. And on the left side, you can see the Excel sheets we've uploaded. On the top, you can see the different actions. And on the bottom, you can see the different processes, because Uploadia is a multi-process tool, but I will show that later on. And then I will show you the base prices. This is exactly the same data except for the date. Those are the base prices for tomorrow. And I've also 2 wrong values in here, so we can see how Uploadia is handling the errors. Otherwise, they're exactly the same. So there is not really any requirement to the Excel file, except the first line has to be the header description of the column, and that is used for the mapping in Uploadia. All right, then we can go back to Uploadia. We click this upload icon, select item revision base prices. And once it's uploaded, we drop it into the mapping area. And we can see all the attributes. Then we go over to the search, and we want to search for the item revision base prices. Item revision base prices. And then you can see the auto mapping feature of Uploadia down here, because this is the mapping area where you can see the mapped attributes. It was able to map it because the name of the Excel header and the name of the XA attribute were the same. So if you are very precise with your mapping, then with your naming, then you don't need any mapping, because Uploadia can do it on its own. And the rest of the attributes, we're just mapping them manually. You can take them from the left side and drop them on the right, or you can take them from the right side and drop them on the left. And let me take this over here, this pricing unit of measure. If we mapped something wrong, we chose the wrong attribute or the wrong table, the wrong attribute, we can just click it, and then it's unmapped. So we can do it correct. And then we can save the mapping if we want to. So let's copy base price March. We can also save it as read only, so we can spread it throughout the users, and they are not able to edit the mapping, and they can just use it. Everything is prepared. They don't have to do any mapping. They upload their file, apply the mapping, and then they can upload. So let's do that for now. As you can see, now I'm not able to edit anything. Now it's read only. And then let's go back to the base prices and check what we have for tomorrow. Select the 23rd, and there is nothing here. And then we can upload. In here you can see the data again. You have the 23rd of March, and the green lines worked and the red ones were errors. Let's check for the green ones first. If we refresh, you can see we have 1 and 3, 4 and 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So line 2 and 5 are missing. And those are actually those where I put the wrong value. So if I just click the line, you can see the error pops up and it says the price unit of measure you entered is not found in the unit of measure file. If you listen very closely, you will notice that's the same. And then we can edit the value in here. Instead of editing the Excel file, uploading again, doing the mapping again, we can just double click the cell, type the correct value in here. Also for the second one, this is very cool if you have, let's say, up to 10 errors where you can do it manually. But if you upload a file with 1,000 lines and you have 900 errors, then it doesn't make sense to edit every cell in here. Then it makes sense to go back to the Excel file and edit it in there. To resend the errors, we can just click the line that failed, press Control and click the second one that we want to upload. And then we can say we want to resend the selection. So now they were resent. Yes, they're green. And if we refresh, we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So now you saw how easy it is to do it in PowerLink in comparison to SystemLink. You don't need any technical background, any of this XML stuff, which can be very complicated if you have larger files. And yeah, it's really nice. Then let's go for the second example, which is the customer orders and lines. So we also have this compared to the SystemLink example. I've applied some colors to this one. They are not necessary, they're just for a better overview. And in red, you can see the first order. We're actually creating 2 orders in this example. So this one is the first. We have order number 187-2002, order date today. And in yellow, you can see the lines that are related to this order. And they are related because they are in the same line as this order number. And here you can see in blue, the second one. This is the second customer order header, 2, 3, 4, 1, 9, and 8. And there we have all the green items related to it. So that's it. Only requirement, headers have to be on top, and then we can upload this one. Let's check what we have for the customer orders. Again, it's the same date. We have 177. The one we're going to upload is 187 and 234. Then, as I already explained, Uploadia is a multi-process tool. So let's imagine this process has 10,000 lines and is still running, which will be indicated by this wheel down here spinning. Then we know, okay, it's still running and it did not crash or something happened. We don't know if it's still running. Then we could create a new process if we want to upload just these 2 customer orders. Then Uploadia is not blocked by this one process. You can upload 500,000 lines, which will take a few hours, and you can still use Uploadia for other stuff. And for this one, I've actually prepared the mapping, so you see how it's working when the mapping is already done, and you can use it right away. That's this one right here, customer order 2023. And you saw I didn't even select the Excel sheet over here because it was saved with the same name. Then it recognizes the Excel sheet, and that's it. Now I can upload it. I don't have to do anything, and let's see, that's okay. And upload. You can see the separation between those 2 customer orders in here by this line, and the wheel down here is spinning, so we know process is running. All right, everything is in green. If we refresh, we have 2 more orders, 187 and 234. Let's check if we also have the line items. Yep, all 10 line items are related to this customer order. And the second one, was it this one? No. Okay, I think that was the one I just opened. Let's check this one. also all 10 line items in here. Yeah, that's it. So let's jump over to our presentation. And just to summarize the technology behind it, we have Excel as the data source. We have Uploadia, which is built in Java. And this Java is the backend, and we're using JavaScript, HTML, CSS for the front end. It's running on your ABMI, and you can install it within 10 to 15 minutes. You don't have to do any configuration or stuff. You don't need to grant any access for the users, and you don't have to configure anything. You can start right away. And it is using SystemLink. So you saw the SystemLink examples before, and that's exactly the same technology. That's why Uploadia is so powerful, because it's using the standard API, SystemLink. And through SystemLink, we get the data into Info ERP XA. And now it's time for some questions and answers. So I will jump over to the chat. And if you have some questions, I don't know if there were already some questions written into the chat.
Until now, I cannot see any question in the chat.
Okay, yeah. Okay, either my presentation was very boring or I explained it so good that, oh, okay. Automate those fields by synonyms. Yes, exactly. I will share my screen again, and then I can show it. So let's start a new process and take this one again. And item revision. So when I take the business object, then it is comparing the Excel column header. So this header right here, those names, it is comparing that to the XA attribute. And if they have the same name, they don't have to be all uppercase or something like that. If it's just, as you can see here, the B is also not in uppercase. If it's written the same way, then it recognizes it and it can automate them. So as I said before, if you are very precise with your Excel naming, then you don't have to do any mapping, because Uploadia can do it on its own. But you have to know how the XA fields are named. So you have to, you need a bit of a technical background for that. Conditions. No, Uploadia doesn't have a functionality like that. It's only to upload the data, the finished data. You can do your calculations in Excel before, and then Uploadia takes the value and uploading it into XA.
Maybe we can show something about the latest version, 1.5, until we have a new question in the chat.
Yeah. How is it licensed is the next question. It's licensed through subscription-based. And maybe, Michael, I don't know if you're here, if you can hear us.
At the moment, he cannot hear us, but I can hello.
Yeah. Maybe you can tell something about the licensing.
Okay, hi everybody. Can I hear? Any question?
Can hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
How it is licensed?
We have two types of licenses. It's not user-based. It's based on environments. It means we have a small license if you have only two environments in the production and tests, for example. This is the smallest license version. And then we have a machine license where you have the license for a machine. And it doesn't matter how many environments you have. and there is no user based. It's a subscription, and it's no limitation on user, something like that. So clear so far?
Yep.
Okay. That is a question for Steffen. Yes, we can.
Yeah. Yes, yes, we can. Yeah, you can use user-owned business objects. So I have my screen shared. I also can show you this. The user-owned business objects, they have a domain class of starting with ext. So if I put ext in here, I now have all the different user-owned business objects, and they are also in here. And if you add a new one, the only thing you have to do is log out of Uploadia and log in again, because then Uploadia is querying all the business objects from XA, and that's how you get them into XA.
So there's a mechanism in XA to read all the business objects also through SystemLink, and that's what we are using while you're logging in. It takes a few seconds, and at this moment we really read in real time. We are reading the business objects from XA.
Maybe I can show a different thing in the meantime, because we have a new feature in Uploadia, which is called the command line interface to auto upload, say it that way, the Excel files. So you can add the different properties, your XA credentials, your environment, the mapping, which will be a JSON file, and then you can upload your Excel files automatically. That is the new feature of the 1.5. As you can see here, we also have some improvement and some bug fixes. We are constantly working on Uploadia, as you can see by all these different versions. And we also implemented the CSV file support for Uploadia. So that's something we came up with in the last few days. I don't know if this is it already released, Michael?
No, it's not yet released, but will come in a couple of weeks or so.
Okay.
Very soon.
All right.
Kelly, so I answered your question about the business objects. It's okay for you? You understood? Okay.
All right. If there are no further questions, you can contact us if you have some. If you would like to have a personal data with your own use cases, we can also prepare something. And yeah, there will be the recording in the follow-up email. There you also have the contact information. So if you have any questions, just let us know.
Thanks to everybody, and then see you.
Thank you also from my side, and have a nice day. Bye
Have a nice
bye.
day. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.